As you mentioned, Kevin Harvick's last race.
Yeah. Yeah, bittersweet because, I it's hard for me to not get emotional about this as well because I see how much it means to Harvick and when he has his family around and everything. They do the tribute videos. I mean, you just can't help but know that how much this means to this particular person, right? And, Kevin, to be as competitive as he was when his team was having somewhat of an off year, Stewart-Haas did not win any races this year, to still be as competitive as he was in his final year at age 48 is absolutely amazing. He is a unicorn driver. To sustain the level of performance that he had for
47. Kevin's only 47. He's only 47.
He's about to turn 48 then. Because I remember his contract went through till he's 48.
Yeah, his birthday is December 8th, so
Okay.
in a month from now he'll be 48.
Okay. He's basically 48 years old. It's just unbelievable. You can't list all of his accomplishments. It's just, he was a team owner. He was a guy that if he raced on Saturday in the Xfinity Series, he was going to win. He, had a truck team. It just, he gave so much back to the sport on and off the racetrack. And he gave a lot to the drivers and was a great leader for the drivers. I think it'll be a substantial loss again for the series. I mean, is it going to be, a loss like the Dale Jr. or Jeff Gordon had? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Harvick fans out there. So, I don't know. You just hope that they latch on to someone new. But he's one of the last Winston Cup guys. He is the last Winston Cup guy that we had in our series. It was him and Kurt Busch that was 1 and 2. And so, just want to say happy retirement. He's still going to give back to the sport by being part of the TV. I tell you, he could really improve that Fox booth a ton. I think he will push them to be better. From what we've seen, NBC, the Fox, the big variation in the production that the two have and how much one is really into the nuts and bolts and explaining everything, whereas the other just kind of talking about some stuff. It's just like there's a lot to be gained there in the Fox booth, and I think that Kevin will push everyone to do that and be better. So I'm excited to see how that turns out for sure. You got a great base there, and so I think that there's going to be something good that's really going to happen from that.
It's going to be kind of like Tony Romo. I know he's kind of polarizing with fans, but he went straight from playing to the booth. So Kevin's the first next gen driver to be an analyst.
Yeah.
And so he'll be able to provide a perspective that's not there.
Yeah, that'll be helpful. Again, I think Fox definitely could be more technical in kind of their explaining of stuff, but he will help with that. He no doubt will help with that, and I think he's going to push Boyer and those guys all to be better. Mike Joy, he's a great anchor for that program. So it's they're certainly he's not gone. He's not going to disappear from your TV. But we're certainly going to miss him on the racetrack. He was a tough guy. I mean, he certainly didn't give you anything. He took more than he gave, that's for sure. But that's what made him Kevin Harvick, and he was just a great guy. Great guy. I got to know him a little bit when I was kind of vetting Kurt Busch and kind of debating on hiring him at the time. I had lunch with Harvick and asked about him, and Harvick, we got to talking about some different stuff and certainly gained a lot of respect for him. And we had some run-ins earlier in our career. They were both before we both had kids, and I think that we both changed a little bit after we had kids. But it was fun. It was fun to compete against them. The 4 and 11 team for the longest time had this friendly rivalry.
I mean, there's a handful of Harvick things up on the wall here, right?
I don't think so.
You got the pie behind you.
Oh, yeah.
You got the Hans.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, so we definitely got to tip our hat to Kevin. Thank you for all you've done, and we'll be seeing you soon. And yeah, good luck to the 4 team. They got Josh Berry coming over there, and there's going to be a lot of changes over there in that organization that hopefully get them going back on the right track. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? I know that's a bold question, but it's got that irresistible taste to back it up. Well, when you've got an irresistible match like zero sugar and 0 calories, something sensational is bound to happen. It's like when me and my co-host Jared team up to make a podcast. It's too bad you can't taste with your ears because Coke Zero Sugar tastes so amazing, it's hard to put it into words. But hey, that's my job, at least on Mondays. You have to taste it for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever.
2311 ends their season, and both cars finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, we had 2 drivers in the top 10, which is a big deal for us. I mean, that's certainly we wish it was on the owners as well with the 23 car, but Bubba for the second season in a row drove a car to the top 10 in the playoff system. So, yeah, great job. They continue to get better.
I mean, that's another thing, right? Is that just that doesn't happen unless Bubba makes the playoffs, right? Driving to the 10th spot.
Yeah, he was in the 14th, 15th in the driver points anyway before the reset for the playoffs.
Right.
But we had winners like I don't know where Ricky was or who else made the playoffs. McDowell. They were further back in the points than Bubba was, but they had with the winning you're in, you just got to win.
Right.
You got 26 chances to win to put yourself in the playoffs.
I mean, Bubba finished ahead of Truex in points in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Truex had a rough one.
I just mean it's one of those things, right? Like you just until you stay around until you get hot, and then you had a good final 10 weeks this season.
I think he had a solid 10 weeks. I think he ran about like he did during the regular season, honestly, where he had some top 5s and some top 10s, and that's kind of what they were for the most part of the whole year, and he just continued that through the playoffs. So it's really a good thing that how they performed. They were very consistent. That team got better on pit road this year. Still got some improvement to make. I think both of our teams, for our first endeavors as having our own pit crews, that was we didn't lose any ground. We still got room to improve and get better and get faster. But we thought that we eliminated a lot of mistakes, big mistakes this year. Still had some with the 45 car that kept him from victory lane a few times, but it's part of the growing process. It's why this takes 5 years and not 3. So I'm really happy with the strides that 2311 has made. We're 2 months away from being in our new headquarters. You've probably seen it off I-77 where 485 meets. That you can't miss it. Yeah, I'm excited for the future of that team and what it can accomplish. Still rooting for it to finish second every week to me, but
yeah. One thing to highlight here with Bubba's final 10 races that he only qualified outside the top 10 once. After Daytona,
9 weeks in a row. I think he said. I think I
heard.
Heard.
Only time they qualified outside the top 10 was Darlington. They were 19th, but after that they were in the top 10 every race.
They had just tremendous speed off the truck. Both cars did. When they were going to practice, they were like P1, P3 every single week. So they were definitely on kill. It seemed like they struggled to keep up with the racetrack as weekends go on just a little bit. And this is just from a kind of a dumb outside perspective of without digging into the numbers and really seeing what's what. Like it just appeared that, the field caught up throughout the weekend sometimes, but man, they got fast cars. They're driving them fast, and super happy with that whole team and what they're doing over there. So, man, they're gonna have a great place to work here in a couple months, and we'll see what happens.